Hello, hello. Welcome to the weekly review of Sean's Rock. I am Sean the Peter Torres in the year. Of course, I am joined along with
And it's your boy Ciroc the Mike. How we doing?
pretty good, man. It's another week in the books.
I know, right?
It's
Damn.
another week in the
January's
books.
almost over.
Yes, it is. It's one of those. This is one of those big time Januaries though, where now we all of a sudden have a changing of the guard at the
Changing of the
highest office
guard.
in the land.
New year,
And
new people,
new year, new people, a vaccine, which
a
is
vaccine,
great.
which
Great.
may or may not work, but we got it.
Hey, as long as even if it gives me a false sense of security,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
It's like
I am.
it's like when you're in school and like you got a project due, and it's like everybody shows up with a project, but we not all about to get an A on this project. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like that's how the
yeah.
vaccine is. Like I got it. I did something, but I don't know if it's promising.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's any vaccine that's not at least a decade old, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I
like
mean,
who needs long-term trials? I mean, come on. This is we YOLO, right? We live in one. You got one life to live, all right? I ain't care. We don't care
yeah.
about long-term effects. We figure that out when we get to that long term. Unless you
By
get older or
then they'll
die.
be working on some other vaccine or some other treatment for that because
Exactly.
they already know like what the after effects going to be, so they're already working on that. They're just not telling
Yeah.
anybody.
So like for instance, they say like so the virus is contagious, but I wonder are vaccines contagious? Like if you got the vaccine, right? Say you went to get shots and you got the vaccine, and then you sneezed on somebody, do they get the vaccine too?
Now,
Or
no, that doesn't work that way. But
oh man.
but I will tell you that that's actually been one of the biggest questions for the flu vaccine and this vaccine or any
Mm-hmm.
vaccine that's for viruses is if I get the vaccine, will I give not the vaccine, but will I give the virus to someone else in
See,
my
that's not
household?
fair. That's not fair. 'Cause you shouldn't be able to get the vaccine and then still be able to spread the virus and not be able to spread the vaccine. I mean, what is a vaccine? What is it? Isn't it like
it's it's
a
a
form of the virus?
it's a most of them are dead versions of the virus. So it's a
Okay.
treated version of the virus, but it's dead.
Like a zombie version.
Except except for smallpox. Smallpox is the only vaccine that I know of that is a live virus, which means when they
Shit.
give it to you, they are literally giving you a small dose of smallpox.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
if it's in moderation, right? So look, everything in moderation. You get a little bit of this, you'll be okay. Too much of it kill you, but
Uh,
small amount.
that may work in for alcohol. I don't know if that's going to work with vaccines. I'm just not sure of that one.
All right, well, I'm sure somebody's tried it in the past and died. Like, well, this should work. That's
Well,
that's
I mean,
that's
when you
that's
think
trial
about
and error.
when you think about what we did in the past for medical things, I mean, you used to solve infections by cutting a person, and
I
fevers
was,
too,
oh,
by cutting a person and letting the blood run out of them until they run cold and say,
I'm so
"Oh, you're
happy you
cured."
weren't back then. You weren't born back then to where like medical practice was like there was no anesthesia and it was just like either it's gonna kill you
Yeah,
or we're accidentally gonna kill you. So
pretty pretty
I see why
much.
people just live with the shit. Like whatever. I'm not. Have you seen Dr. Frankenstein? He fucking killing people. I'm not going to him.
That's true. This
That's
is true.
crazy, man.
I mean, if you look at any of the good World War II, World War One movies,
Uh-huh.
actually World War One is even worse. But you look at those two movies, like say 1917 or Dunkirk. Have
Mhm.
you heard those two movies?
Yeah, I haven't seen Dunkirk, but I seen
1917.
1917. Yeah,
Okay, so that's even better. So you saw the World War One thing.
right.
That was a war that had no pain relief whatsoever. So
Oh
in World War
shit.
Two we had morphine. We didn't have that in World War One.
What does morphine do?
Morphine, it kills the pain almost immediately. Doesn't last a long time, but
Okay.
it's still, if you're missing a leg, you want that morphine because
Oh,
it's gonna it takes you from excruciating, unbearable, you ready to shoot yourself to excruciating, unbearable, but you want to live.
oh, damn. Do they still have that today? They still
Oh
use
yeah,
that today or no?
oh yeah. I mean, I've anytime I go to the hospital, they give me morphine. Uh
But you
in the
can't just
field
get it.
in the
You
field
can't
our
just get it.
medics, no, but in the fields our medics,
Uh huh.
when I was in the army, our medics would carry it when we were deployed.
Oh,
So when we got hurt, they use a little metal thing. Well, it's not metal anymore, it's a little plastic thing, but you stick it in you, squirt it, and
you brand new.
Pretty
Well,
much
you ain't
brand
brand
new.
new.
Yeah, you miss it. You're hurting. You're hurting bad.
Just
But
take it. Just taking it just to take it. Well, I guess like
yeah,
say, but if you take it and you weren't hurting, nothing would happen, right?
it would make you high.
Oh,
It'll
like
make
what's
you
wrong with
high.
him? He on that morphine, like, oh boy,
Yeah,
I'm ready to
your
go.
eyes go from wide open to like little squints. You're like, you're saying stuff like, "Hey, can we get McDonald's from Pizza Hut?"
Man, we in Afghanistan, right? Like, oh shit. This
Oh,
was the
then they
slaves
have
doing?
KFC.
Do they have KFC? I'm sure they do,
uh,
right?
no, Afghanistan does not have any fast food. Well,
They
okay,
don't.
that's not true. On the basis they have fast food restaurants, but as far as in the
Yeah,
towns, there's
but you don't know where
no
that
fast
meat's
food.
coming from. You don't know
Oh,
where that meat's coming
I
from.
know where the movie's coming from on the basis. That's flown in straight from the
Okay.
U.S. On the basis,
On
I know
like
where it comes from.
KFC
But
airline, like you'll see a big colonel smiling on a wingtip, like, oh yeah, pick up that KFC
what
drop.
not to get off of it, but what would you say if all of a
Just
sudden
drop
if
it,
you saw this
chicken wings
big
on there.
white plane, if you saw this big white plane coming, and it had a old white guy in a colonel outfit, didn't say
Smiling.
KFC anywhere on it, but it had the red and white letters. Well, you'd be like, "Damn, I hope this isn't slavery pickup."
You're like,
You'd be
dude,
like, yeah, you're
somebody
like,
say chicken.
I'm not getting on that plane.
Oh my god, damn. McDonald's would do some shit like that. I can see a Ronald McDonald plane just dropping Happy Meals just as care packages. Like you, like damn, you be on the battlefield. Like what's that red box? And it'd be a whole bunch of Happy Meals and French fries and double cheeseburgers and McDoubles and all types of nonsense.
Let me tell you though, from my friends who have served with me who are still in,
Mm-hmm.
they will eat that in a heartbeat compared to what we are served when we were
What do they give
downrange.
you? Trash?
MREs. It's not trash. It's actual
Like jail
meals.
food?
No, it's better. It's actually better to me. It's better than jail food, but it's
Okay.
not. It's not what I call a sit down dinner. It's not a dinner. It's not one you want to go. Oh, we have McDonald's or we have an MRE. You're gonna choose the McDonald's every single time.
Every time.
Yeah. But if you have MRE versus what the locals eat, sometimes, yeah, you're gonna go MRE. It's just kind of one
Damn,
of
so
those
you
things.
you just like shit, whatever. I just take what I can get at this point.
Some MREs weren't bad. Like you had the ravioli MRE, which was pretty much everyone's favorite. You had the cheeseburger mac, which was everybody's favorite because it was cheeseburger
Okay.
mac, and you had the beef stew. Those
Did you guys-
three
Did you guys like trade and
like the
stuff?
top.
Like,
Oh yes,
all right,
oh
listen,
yes.
I
If
got
you
McDonald's and I got a cheeseburger mac and cheese, and I got some goat milk from the lady down the road. So I mean, we trading or what?
now see if he would have had that and all we had was MREs, he would have lost all that and we would have been eating good. I'm just saying that's how that would have went down.
And I would be in a corner like on morphine, like what y'all got over there? That a cheeseburger? I can't see. Where's my foot at? Damn. Well, shit.
Yeah,
KFC doing it big, man. KFC doing it big.
yeah, they are.
Big day though.
So yeah, big day as we alluded to. We have a new president.
What's it? 20th? 20th,
The
right?
day's the 20th. Yes, it is.
20th.
It is.
1/20.
11 more days of this month. 11 more days of the month.
That's crazy. Did you watch the inauguration?
I actually did watch part of it. Just a few moments ago, I watched a little bit of it.
Wait, it's still on?
It went from there was like other stuff, but I just watched like the part from like 11:30 or so, just to see what kind of happened during that part.
Oh, like the actual like the swearing.
The swearing in.
Is it swearing in? Would you call it swearing in?
Swearing in, yeah.
Because he's sworn in.
And
you say swearing in, it kind of sounds like.
Yeah, I know. Because that and the thing when you mention it in conversations, it's you were sworn in. It's not you were swearing in. You're sworn in.
You were swearing, weren't you? Shit, yeah.
But now, I wanted to watch first female African or first. She's not African American. First Black she's Indian descent American become president, vice president. Indian and Black, Indian and Jamaican descent.
Oh damn! So she getting all the reparations.
Oh yeah.
Damn, people suffer.
Yeah. But so she it was a big deal. Biden's just another white guy taking the office. I mean, that's a consensus of
white.
Yeah, that's just the consensus. That's all we get. Yeah, yeah. But Obama was the oh.
Do you think like 100 years from now they'll be like, who's this guy? What happened right here?
If we don't,
just say
if we can't find another, I will say this: if we can't find another Black, Latino, Asian, American to become, they have that highest office again within like I want to say the next 10 to 15 years. I think it will be at 100 years again before we have another person of color.
I think it'll happen way more often now. I think like now, well, the big thing is, the next big step is obviously having like a woman as a president.
Yeah,
I think that's probably one of the hardest to come by.
And a not so scary Black man as president, because I mean, yeah, Obama since he was mixed, he was appealable. Yeah, he was appealable to the lighter audiences. That's just how it goes. I mean, it's a discussion.
He was confusing. You're like, hey, he Black, I think. Wait, he got something in him. Like, he's one of those, like, he got something in him. Like, he didn't look like, like, he ain't a Flavor Flav looking dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's well dressed. Like, he's, who would you want? Like, if we had, like, to choose out of just faces, I guess, of a, group of people who, like, all right, one of these dudes, we got to choose the president. Like, Obama got that look like,
he's not dark enough. He's not light enough. He's in that middle section, He speaks good. Speaks correctly, he enunciates well. Let's put it there. He enunciates well.
Good evening.
So
hi. What's up, Triple OG? I'm your president now, motherfuckers. Welcome to the United States of me. See, that's how Trump was like.
That's how he did it. That's all he did was came out saying, I'm a rock star. And if you want a rock star to run the country, vote for me. And all these people did.
Trump is like if Riff Raff had a dad, it would. Well, I'm sure he does, but I feel like Trump would be Riff Raff's dad. Like, okay, now it makes sense, But yeah, I'm happy, man. Like, I'm just, it was a crazy, I guess.
4 years.
I mean, it wasn't the worst 4 years. I mean, it was some good stuff too. But like the past 6 months has been insane.
So I've been alive for Reagan. Well, technically Carter too, but so Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump. It's that 7 presidents.
Okay.
So, that there's how best to put it. Out of all those presidents, this guy has been, in my memory, the absolute worst. This from, I mean, everyone else has at least had diplomacy about them. They at least knew how this game works. Mm-hmm. They knew they had to give to get.
They stayed off
this
Twitter.
Guy. They stayed off Twitter, which was.
I think that's a really honestly, if Trump didn't have a Twitter, he'd probably still be president. If he just shut his mouth, and just didn't say nothing.
The Twitter fed him.
Like every other president, yeah.
The Twitter people,
shit, man.
He posted some stupid baseless lie, and instead of having his press secretary come out and putting that lie out there, and then having the press vigorously tear that lie to shreds, instead of I can put this on Twitter, people are going to reply back to it. But if they like me, all I'm going to really see is the responses of people who like me. And for a long time, that's all he was getting.
Builds. Yep.
It built up his ego.
Exactly. And it's just like, the sad part is because it was people on part of his administration, I'm sure, who literally knew like wow, this dude is talking out his ass pretty much right now. He don't like wow, and still support it. It's like you guys just a bunch of followers. Like, I get it. Like, you gotta be, you got a job, but like, bro, this dude's gonna get you killed if you like at some point you gotta be like, all right, this is enough.
so far I know of at least 100 and something people who've lost their jobs because of something Trump said. Yep. And they decided to follow his ass.
Yep.
They stormed they allegedly decided to follow his ass. So they stormed the Capitol, and now they're losing their jobs left and right. Being fired as attorneys, being fired.
What did I do? What did I do? Oh,
and this isn't like just people who work in the factory. We're talking politicians lost their jobs, had to resign, firefighters. There's a mayor under fire right now. He's not resigning, but there's a big it's actually up in Michigan, or is it Michigan or Illinois?
Probably Michigan. We always doing some shit like that.
Where the governor's not the governor, he's mayor. He's a mayor. No, it's in Illinois. He basically was for the riot. And his town's like, okay, we don't want you anymore. And he just said, I'm not going to give up my seat. But I mean, you had those, you had policemen, you had National Guard members, you had active military, you had everybody in that group.
Yeah, you can be anybody.
And these are all a bunch of people who are nothing but followers.
Yeah, and the sad part is you're not going to be able to catch them all, obviously. And it's just like, these people just go back into society and try to just blend in and act like they wasn't acting the fool 3 weeks ago. You know what I mean? It's like some people just like to be a part of the action, I guess.
You had one guy who threatened to shoot his kids. He said, if you turn me in, I'm going to shoot you. I will shoot and kill you.
Like, now I'm about to turn you in for threatening.
Yeah. They all turned him in.
Yeah.
They all like, it's like that. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, damn, like what type of family situation? He must be a stepdad.
Dad's right here.
He must be a stepdaddy because
well, allegedly he's not. Allegedly that's his kids, but I mean,
that's true.
I couldn't imagine saying that to my kids. I mean, and you don't have kids yet, but at some point in time, I think you want some. And could you imagine saying that? Not even to your kid. You have a niece.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. If you turn me in, I will kill you. You understand, right? You know that I've killed before.
And you've seen your niece's face. So imagine saying that to the cute button face.
Yeah, you know, like
that's just staring at you.
See,
and as a parent, no matter how old your kids get, there's a certain age that you just remember in your head, and you will always see your kid at that age.
Oh yeah,
this is one of those things. So you're always gonna see that cute little button face. You shouldn't tell me that I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to burn down your house. No.
I've been threatened before. I've been threatened before, but you know your parents bluffing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm
gonna
ground you for a year, or I'm gonna, beat the brakes off of it. Yeah, that whatever. But I'm gonna shoot you and kill you. Nah.
You don't say that.
I mean, you've heard that I'm gonna kill you. That part before, but not any detail. All you hear is I'm gonna kill you, and then you start running because your ass is about to get whooped.
Yeah. I mean, if they text you, I'm going to kill you, and then it's just like a period after that, you should be worried.
Yeah.
So like if it's in all caps, I'm going to kill you. Nah, he's just upset right now. But if it's just
you're upset, if I get my butt whooped.
Yeah, I'm going to kill you. And that's
this
it.
Point, nothing else.
And then you call them, they don't answer. Like, yeah.
And if you have an iPhone and you can tell if they're watching you read the message or not, you're like, they're not watching me read this message. They already want to do something.
I was wondering about that with the this just happened to me, but like you said with a iPhone and other apps too. Like when you're having a conversation and you're texting and you're typing something, it shows the bubbles like, hey, so and so is typing and they're about to say something.
Yeah.
Like, what happens if I just leave like I was typing? Do the bubbles still stay there? Because I was responding to someone and I changed my mind halfway through, but I never deleted it. I just pressed the back button and went into like the message log. Is that person still seeing as if I'm like just about to tell them a whole novel or something? Like
from my experience, because I've never had an iPhone personally, but I've dated people who have had them, known people who've had them. From my experience, once you get out of that message, send it or not,
automatically goes back.
It automatically goes back. But they do see those 3 dots saying that you were typing something, and then you stop. And then
what if I just
that's normally when you get that. That's when you get that message back. They're going, "What the hell are you doing? What, you ain't got nothing to say? You ain't got nothing to say?"
Yeah, I mean, like I guess
I don't think people our age really do it. But no. in my I was late 20s, I guess, early 30s. People were still doing it around that age. It was the people in their 20s that were doing it mainly, but it was still people like, I see you typing, you can't finish typing. I'm like, why? I obviously didn't want to say what I wanted to say, so I stopped typing. Yeah. It doesn't mean
I don't have to tell you that I would stop typing. I just didn't say anything back.
Yeah.
It's not like I would. I mean, in real life, obviously, I would just say, "All right, well, I'm out of here." I would just tell you I'm leaving, but in texting, I just don't say anything. So you just assume I left the conversation.
Yeah. But see, I think doesn't that push the whole? Because see, me, I'm a person who, if I gotta talk to you, if I need to talk to you, I'm going to call you. But if it's something that I don't need an immediate response to, I'm just going to text you.
Yeah,
because if you get to me
for a second.
Yeah, you get back to me whenever you get back to me, even if it's late that night or first thing the next day. It's just a text. But now if I call you, then yeah, hey, something's going on. I'm calling. That's.
And then some people
But that
like,
pushes.
why are you calling me?
Drew, why you calling me? Just send a text. I don't sit there on my phone like that. I don't know anyone who really does to sit there. I used to know people like that, who were constantly on their phones, constantly typing. And they were the ones who would see you, they were the ones who would see you typing and would make those comments. But me, I'm just like, oh, I got a text. Okay, I'll get back to whenever. And then people get mad at you because you're like, why are you texting back? Because you just sent a text. I'll text you in like an hour or two whenever I'm done eating or whenever I'm done.
Exactly. It's like when I feel like it. That's what it should be. I don't even call it texting. It should just be called when I feel like it. Oh, yeah, that's got a when I feel like it message.
But yeah, some people who treat a text like it's a phone conversation, which is that whole.
That's my mom.
Which is what the dots are. The little dots things are. And I'm like, no, it's not that. Now, if I'm in the middle of texting you and it's in a conversational form and you text me almost immediately back and I text you almost immediately back, then yeah, we're in a conversation.
Exactly.
But if it's time in between those messages, everyone's just getting back when they can get back.
Yeah, see that's like, I'm so happy my mom has an Android because, man, you like when you respond, you have to like be prepared like for a conversation. My mom, once I give her that one response, it's like paragraph. Like a part of me is like, damn, why should you just call me? And another part of me is like, wow, I'm glad she's getting faster at texting. Like I guess I'm kind of happy.
My mom, she'll text very rarely. She's more of a call, leave a message type of person. And the thing is, she still is in the whole the age group that still cuts their phones off at night or whatever. Okay. Like on Christmas. So before Christmas Day, she called us all, wish Merry Christmas, whatever. And I told her, well, I'm gonna call you tomorrow, Mom, because it's Christmas. Of course I'm gonna call you. Right. She's like, okay, but that it was the way she said it. I'm like, I don't think she's gonna have her phone on tomorrow.
No, I don't. And so my phone, I left it at home. Like you hear shit like that now, you're like, what? You left your phone at home? You tripping? It's like leaving your dog baby at home.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, now if I go to my garage and because I have a thing where I put my phone at, if I go over there and there's nothing there, I'm like, oh wait, I gotta go in the house. I'm not leaving out my phone. I'll leave without my wallet before I leave without my phone.
See,
that's funny.
Yeah, well, nowadays, I mean, you pretty much can use Apple Pay, but that's how like it's funny because like my dad's like the complete opposite. Like he's just not really. He has a phone, but like, good luck texting him because he won't respond for a very long time. Like, if I'm like flying in from out of town, hey dad, just landed. And then like he responded like 2 days later, it's like, hey, what time's your flight come in? I'm like, yo, I'm literally inside the house in the basement right now. Or he's the type, he'll leave somewhere and don't take his phone. I think he enjoys the hunt, of trying to figure out where you at.
Yeah.
Like Sherlock Holmes, like he'd be like, all right, I'm going to so-and-so's house to hang out and then, see him for a few hours. And then you got to like make like a map, type directory. Is like, all right, he went to so-and-so's house, but that's also next to his favorite place, which he could be there, but it's after 7:00 and I know it's closed because it's Sunday. It's like I think he enjoys it.
Instead of manhunt, it's dad hunt.
Yeah. I think once I'm a father, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna have fun like trying to figure out where my children are at without actually knowing where they're at.
Good luck with that one, because on a daily basis, I have no idea what my kids are doing unless they tell me, which they don't, of course, tell you on a daily. Once they hit a certain age,
they didn't tell you.
Every day communication stops.
Or they probably expect you to like just to memorize everything they just said.
Like, oh yeah, they do. Oh my God. And see, and the worst part is once they become a legal age, 18, then they think they know everything. Just like we all did. We all thought 18 that we knew
I was exactly how the
world
then.
works. Oh yeah.
I got dumber since then.
Oh God, yes. Oh, I'm about to be a college graduate, and I feel dumber now than I ever have in my entire life.
I hear you, man. I'm getting old, but I'll tell you about that story a little bit later.
But yeah, so I mean that sets. I mean that sets for me. I don't look for the dots. Google's starting to do this thing now with the same thing, or you can see if someone's typing you or not. Not all phones are doing it, but some are. And I was like,
why is that even there though? What is that supposed to do? What's that?
It's just to encourage. It's just to encourage back and forth communication in real time. Okay. But I'm like, I just call.
So if you say real time. So if you say something important, you know they about to respond versus you waiting. I guess.
Yeah. But
if it's important, you just call me. You want just.
Why am I going to spend a minute or 45 seconds to say something when I can literally call you and take 20 seconds to do the exact same thing?
Unless you literally somebody has a gun like aimed at you and you can't say a word and you gotta like, shit, come right here, send my location to do.
But see, even now, I got make sure this is off. Even now, all I gotta do is say, "Hey Google, text Rock," and it's gonna do it for me.
See. I don't trust Google.
Is that Eric? Like that. Eric Professor or Eric Gomez?
See, that was it.
Then it'd be like so-and-so or this person. I'm like, okay, well, shit. If I gotta tell you who exactly, I might as well just do it myself. Or Alexa would just be like, I don't understand. But how do you not understand, Alexa? What did I Siri don't even answer half the time. She'd be asleep. Siri, wake up, Siri. And I changed my the voice to the Australian guys. They'd be like, hello, Mike. He's like, what's up, Mike?
See, that's the thing. Google doesn't have all those many voices. I was hoping it would, because I wanted an English woman or an Australian woman, because that would have been hilarious. I would have been because especially if you get like a Welsh English person, which is like the South English people that have like the really twang in it when they speak to, that would have been, oh my God. Could you imagine? Like, hey, you bloody bloke! You missed the damn turn.
It should be like that, or like you should be able to like use like switch it to like Yoda voice or something. Like, I'm too awake. You up now? Like I'm like, damn, Yoda, I'm getting up. The force is in me. I'm getting up. And then I feel like eventually, like they'll all integrate with each other. Like they'll just be talking to each other when you're not home. Like Siri be like, hey, what's up, you guys? My Alexa be like, hey, how's it going? Nothing. He's like, damn, he's still ordering shit off Amazon. And Google would be like, yep. And he's actually at work right now, according to his Google Maps location. Like,
does he still have that? Does he still have that Pornhub subscription? Yep. Yes, he does.
So. He just reapplied. I didn't cancel a membership. Alexa, you got anything on that? No, I do not. But I do know we need to drop the temperature to 77 degrees. So I don't. They need to add a fourth, man. They need to add a black dude in there because damn Alexa.
They need a black dude, don't they?
And what does Google call it? It's just Google.
Hey, you know what's funny though? If they make it, it's just Google. If they put a black dude in it, and they made that the default one. So whenever you're like you're a white supremacist, they go in and they don't know about it, whatever. They go and plug it up, and the first thing go, "What up, nigga?"
It should be like it should be another service. That's just like, you just got a Samuel Jackson, voice as a, one of those apps. Like, motherfucker, wake up right now. Like, I'll be like, oh shit,
what?
You late?
Oh my God.
You late for work again. They gonna fire your black ass. Like, Siri, relax. Damn.
That's more of a Chris Rock, but yeah, I see where you're going with it.
Yeah, it's like, I'm paying for this service. Like, this dude just cussing out every morning. Oh man, but that's what you can do when you got money. Speaking of money, coming up.
Go ahead. I was gonna just mention one more thing about the inauguration.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so one last thing about inauguration. Here's what's kind of funny: is the inauguration is more protected. The Capitol inauguration is more protected right now than any other military installation or embassy, fob, or Leavenworth. Is more secure than any of the most secure places in the U.S. is now more secure than any of them.
They are not messing around today. They're like, we ain't not trying to have a repeat of what happened.
No, and the vetting process they're going through is crazy. It's crazy. I know some guys who are up there.
To get in there?
Yeah, it's going through a lot of vetting just so and it doesn't matter if you pass the one at home and you get to Washington, because you pass through two major ones and then you do a daily one. When you get to that second one, even if you pass the first one at home, you get that second one and you don't pass it, you don't get to go home. You get to stay there and not do anything, which sucks. Yeah, it actually sucks because then you're just restricted to just your area of duty, which will be a tent essentially. Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
yeah, it does, but I understand. I
understand
because I don't want some idiot in there who doesn't care who the president is trying to kill the president.
You got the president, you got all these, senators, you got former presidents, you got so many, huge heads, figureheads who, obviously all in one place at one time. Kind of reminds me of what was that movie with Gerard?
I was gonna say Designated Survivor, but that's the TV show of the movie that you're talking about.
Actually, I think that's what I was thinking of originally because I never watched Designated Survivor, but I remember seeing like the first episode where some
the big explosion, the Capitol,
Is that how that works?
Yep, that's exactly how that works. That's exactly how it works.
They just go down the line. I'm like, all right, what do you do?
During the State of the Union the State of the Union is the most what's the word? Dangerous time because that's the only time when all of our heads of state are in the same building except for one, which is normally like a Department of the Interior or Department of Housing type of cabinet level position.
Like, man, I still gotta work, yo.
Yeah,
all at the park.
Exactly.
I didn't get in, but...
Yeah, so he's got to go to a bunker somewhere, nowhere close to the Capitol, close to the Capitol, and sit for a few hours. And it doesn't stop as soon as the speech stops. It doesn't stop until the president and the vice president are in their two separate locations again.
Oh, just in case they get blown up or something. Damn.
Yep.
Man, all that security, like shit, like
all that security.
I mean,
it's something crazy.
That's insane.
Understandable, but crazy.
I mean, I get it,
And all they talk about, what's funny is all they talk about is the troops, the 25,000 troops. They don't talk about how the Coast Guard is out in the water right now, how the Navy's got a carrier out there right now. I'm sure there's a sub. They won't say about a sub. I'm sure there's a sub in the water too.
Just waiting.
Plus, they've got two different states, state police coming from two different outside states, state police coming there. They've got a lot of moving parts going on for this. Plus, you got Secret Service, Capitol, Capitol Police.
And that Gerard Butler movie, they got in there pretty easy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
They was just hop the fence. Was like, all right, this is easy.
That's true. That whole mess. Whenever I thought about what happened at the Capitol, that's the first movie that popped in my head. Olympus Has Fallen. It popped in my head. I'm like, this is Olympus Has Fallen. Are those Koreans?
Because a lot of times I feel like we're always looking for like a big, like a foreign threat, like a missile coming, or like from North Korea in place, like something military type of threat. But it's usually like just some lone wolf by himself or with two other people who just blend in and boom, they go to the bathroom real quick, come out, door still open. Next thing you know, the dude is in Nancy Pelosi's office, right now.
With feet up on his head.
It's that easy. Like, oh shit. Damn, they ain't got no security in here.
God. What you? Well, I'll get off this, but I just want to know, what was your first thought when you saw all that?
Man, first of all, I was just like, damn, they got some whack ass. Like, I thought of like Craig and Day Day from Friday. That's type of security they got in there. Like, I like the security, like the where like I'm thinking like, man, it ain't worth getting killed type of job. I was like, just go ahead. I mean, just go. I don't care. Whatever. I'm not gonna fight all y'all. I don't got a gun. They don't even give me a gun. A mace and a baton. Like, I could take about 3 of y'all, but the rest, that's it.
That's the way they acted. That is truly the way they acted. It was like they acted like they were mall cops.
I would say this:
out on the outside.
If you got to fight, you got to hit the first dude with all you got to hit him so hard to where the others just like, holy shit, like this may be a bad idea. Like, you got to put somebody come down with you.
The girl who
fight him.
The girl who got shot. That's what happened to her. Yep. She tried to go. She played stupid moves. Went through a process. She tried to go through a window, and that the officer on the side was like, nope. Clack.
Yeah.
And then nobody else tried to go that window. They were like, nope, we ain't going to that window.
Look, all you had to be like, pass it down the line. They shooting. Pass it down the line. Yeah, they wouldn't bullshit.
No, what's funny is they didn't start to leave until that shot rang out, and then riot police came. That's the only. They didn't try to leave until then. So why in the hell? And we'll move on. But why in the hell Then you do that before they even got into the building.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't have gotten into the building.
Yeah, you need that one dude to come out there, pat, 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 and everybody just scrambles. And like, all right,
Gone.
continue on what we was doing.
Yeah.
But no, they got to be. But because if you do pop a shot, then cops going, oh shit, it would just be chaos. Nobody know who did what. But you need like
they could have radioed each other. They could have. There's a way they could have managed that.
Warning shots going off in about 5 seconds here. Okay, cool. We know what to expect.
My first thought was, I said, this is an insurrection. I said, these people are traitors. And I said, they all deserve to be shot.
Yeah, and then they all gonna go back home and act like shit ain't like they didn't do nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I wonder how many people have like their own like secret videos that wasn't posted on the internet. Like, yo,
there's a few
presidential pin. Like, oh, shut up.
There's a few that they posted them and they took them down. There's a few people who were smart enough not to post them, and now they're going to be trying to erase it off of their stuff. But here's the thing: is that we all these phones now have cloud services, so you may erase it off your phone, but if you don't tell your phone to erase it off the cloud, they still got you.
I mean, I know Apple has their whole like, our information is our information. We're not. That's not.
Yeah, Samsung has the same thing with their not.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be somebody gonna leak something. Like, yep, they trust me, man. Apple can say whatever they want to say, but it's always gonna be someone above and ahead that has the order to be like, you know what?
Yep, because that's all people do. That's all people do is like, they think they brought something out that I can't crack. Well, then I'm going to crack it. And that's just how it goes. It's just an ongoing thing.
Listen, if you trust me, go on eBay right now and just type in Capitol Hill items, and trust you're gonna have a whole bunch of shit just for sale.
I don't doubt it.
This is so and so's tissue he used, his handkerchief, whatever. Man, that's crazy. But it is what it is. Losers usually don't go down without a fight. So.
So you were saying something about being rich, or
losers. Well, for every loser, there's a winner, and there is no winner as of yet for the Mega Millions, almost $1 billion.
Yeah, $860 million last night. 860 last night.
Why don't
865?
So with the lottery, is that money from everyone buying money in to win?
Yeah. There's a fund where they have so much money. And then as you buy tickets, that not the fund, like, okay, so the way a lottery works is there's a fund that actually furnishes the base dollar where the lottery starts out.
Where like the winner restarts.
Yeah. And then every time people buy a lottery ticket, all that, not all of it, but about 70% of it goes back to that ticket or goes back to that fund to make that lottery win bigger and bigger.
Right.
And so now, after all the rules changes they did with the lottery, which had more lottery winners but lower amounts, since they've changed the rules, now you have much larger amounts than ever before because people just aren't winning as quickly. So now you have, where it used to be you win 10, 20 million, and that was considered a great win by lottery.
Still is.
Oh, I'd lose my freaking mind. I'd lose my mind.
Okay. But it's like,
if you can win $865 million,
that's too much. That's too much money to win. Like, you can win. Like, it's okay to win some things, prizes and stuff like that. But like, that's like, that's like
the take home from that
your whole lineage changing type of money.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I told my wife. I said, if we could win something like that, because the walkaway is only gonna be like 400 million. Because governments will take it.
After. Well, you can choose between like lump sum and then like what's the other, like they pay you yearly or whatever it is.
But I'm taking that lump sum, and
because you never know.
Exactly. So I'm taking a lump sum. So you take the lump sum, that's already bringing down probably like 700 million. And then half that because the government's gonna take its half. So you're looking at about 350.
So the government
that's $350 million.
They love that lottery high. They be like, yeah, we about to get paid.
You should not have to worry about your grandkids at all if you want something like that. Because that is buying. That's called buying a boardroom type of money. Literally, you say, "Oh, wait, I've got this. Oh, I'm going to be a what's the word I'm looking for?
Philanthropist?
A philanthropist? No, not a philanthropist, but someone who makes a lot of profit.
Elon Musk?
Basically like Elon Musk. Basically, I'm gonna be a business owner. And you can
all right,
select whatever business.
Switch it up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and you select whatever business you want, and you're gonna be the top head of that business, and you're not gonna have some PDN startup little thing. You're gonna go like, oh, I got 300 something million. I'm gonna spend 80 million and get me a place to need, not a place to live, but actual business in New York City. Oh yeah.
Damn.
Give me a house. Give me a business in New York City.
Juggler.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You already spent 80 million off top, like.
Oh yeah. But that 80 million will pay for itself. That's the thing. I mean, you buy a business, say real estate, especially real estate or construction, that's gonna pay for itself fast.
Well, would you tell anybody you want money?
No, not this one. Nah. My family members, I would change their entire life, but I wouldn't.
They say family is the number one cause of.
That's what. See. That's why you do it this way. You say, okay, I've got 10 members of my family. Okay, so I was 10.
Win $500 million. Look, you gonna have people come out the woodwork.
Oh, they can come out the woodwork, but unless they're along for the ride, for the good and the bad, then sorry for you. That's how it goes. You got to go with the good and the bad. But now for everyone, all the family that was there for the good and the bad, then you set up each one of them a little trust fund. You say, this is all you're gonna get from me. So don't ask again. Put about $2 to $3 million in each one, and
they go tear you apart, dog. They can be like, wait a
minute, and buy a house for them, and that's it. That's it. Like, say
you won almost $1 billion, and you only gonna give us 2 to 3 million.
You're damn right. I want it.
Think about hiring an assassin.
That won't get them to the money. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. I think it's almost a curse to win that much money because you just like.
But see, I think here in Florida, you have to. I think we have to. If you want, I think you have to.
Oh yeah, they have to say who it is.
I think that.
Well, I think they tell people who won, which is kind of messed up because it's just like. You just put a target on my back.
Well, no, all they say is someone won. So you got the ticket. You're like, oh, I'm that someone. And then you start making phone calls to attorneys and stuff. Before you even call them to tell them that you won the ticket, you're like, no, I got to call an attorney. I got to call an accountant. I got to call another accountant, back up that accountant.
Even then, it's like, you don't even know if you can trust them. You know what I mean? It's just like.
That's why you hire more than one. You hire more than one company to do the same job. That way there's always eyes watching each other. Because if you watch each other, you're more apt to keep it clean because you don't want your competition to get your business.
Yeah, and you almost got to hang with you got to find people who has just as much money. Like, how the fuck? What am I supposed to do? Like,
oh yeah. I'm gonna be writing people like LeBron, people like, well, not Trump, because all he does is file bankruptcy. But Tom Hanks, people who have
all that money.
Yeah. What do I do? What's the first thing I don't need to do? Don't buy a motorcycle, but I already bought a motorcycle.
Right. I already spent 80 million. Like, what? You didn't even get the money yet. Like, 80 million already.
Yeah. I had to buy a building in New York. I had to buy a skyscraper.
That's crazy. But what's even crazier is that, like, it's almost $1 billion. But then, like, you think about like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are worth like 180 some billion dollars. It's just like,
or Jeff Bezos is worth $1 trillion.
It's just like. Do they even like care?
There's nothing.
I'm sure they don't even like the concept of money is just like what is that?
Well, a lot of people who are rich, who are uber rich, say that you get to a certain point, and at that point is just like
you just don't worry about it.
Yeah, because you can already buy anything on planet Earth.
Yeah, I guess it would be like us worrying about like baby teeth or something. Like, nah, it's just never.
Yeah,
it's just something that
I don't have
to deal with anymore.
So when I was in the Army, I of course made a lot less money than I do now, and so when I was there, I started $5 or $10 meant something to me because that was at the time I smoked cigarettes. That was packing cigarettes or food or something. Now. $5 or $10, I'll give that to charity without even thinking about it. It's like, oh, here you go. Or someone needs some money for food. Oh, here you go. It's just how it goes. I think at that point, to them, $1 million is probably like $10 to them. So it's like, oh, do you need what? Oh,
probably
okay,
not even. It's probably like $1.
Yeah.
No, maybe not.
So well, like, for Bezos, probably like $1.
Yeah, but it's like, what do they like? I guess they're more focused on their company than anything, right? Because like, you shouldn't really have any like wants of like any like material wants, because you could just get it if you want to. You know? You think Jeff Bezos like orders Amazon packages to his house?
Oh yes.
Or do they just pop up out of thin air?
I bet you he has his own personal like fleet just for Jeff Bezos. Like, here's his fleet of vans. Like, there's 4 of them. That way he can get his orders 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just for him.
Or like his house is like half factory at the same time. Like,
not his house, but a corner of his property. So like, here's his house, and then like on the other side, on like the east side of the property, there's a whole factory or warehouse.
He goes in the app, he orders something, and literally he gets a confirmation email. And then like 5 seconds later, he'll be like, your package has been delivered. Like 2 seconds later.
But they won't leave it at the door of his house, I guarantee you. Like, like, here you go, Mr. Bezos.
He probably gets his packages like it's already open and like working. Like, it's already like installed,
put together.
Yeah. his you don't have to, like, it's a 5-star review, installed. It's crazy, man. That's a big money.
What would you? But if you won, what would you do? I mean, that's the question on everyone's mind. That kind of money, that kind of cash.
You know, I wouldn't do anything for like a month. I would have to sit and really, really think on it. Like, I would have to like. One, if I didn't have to tell anybody, I wouldn't tell anybody. You know, I wouldn't tell family. No. I wouldn't tell friends. I wouldn't tell nobody unless it was like you said, unless it was like public to where like you knew I won.
Yeah. But I don't have to tell you. I'm not telling you unless you're my family that I'm already decided who I'm going to do whatever for. I'm not telling you.
I would change my number and then reach out to people with my new number. You know, like, you know, people I care about stuff, and then I wouldn't automatically go on a spending spree, because
would you keep your social media?
Nothing. Would I keep my social media?
Yeah. See.
Yeah. I would try to, if it wasn't public record, I would try to act normal as possible. But like,
normal as possible when they see you windsurfing out in Cabo, you know.
No. Like, I wouldn't like just ball out like that. I would like do little stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, maybe I'd like get a new car, but I wouldn't be like a Lamborghini or something. It wouldn't be something like from 0 to 100. It'd be like something a little bit nicer than what I got, and then I get some a little bit. Like, I would make it to where like it seemed like I would just step by step.
It was tearing yourself up.
People notice when you go from like a Pinto to, you know, a Ferrari.
Oh,
like,
yes.
He must gain some money. But like, if you have like 4 or 5 cars in between, like, oh, he must be like building like, like, you know, like he must start business. They're not as on your butt like that. But
until they find out where you live, because you know your address once you buy a house is public record.
Well, see, that's what's tough. You know, I get like a.
I don't want a mansion though. That's the thing. I'm good without having a mansion. I just want a house. Get a mansion. I want a house. Beach. I want a house on the beach that I can park my cars in.
I have like probably honestly like 3 of those probably. I have.
Oh no, I wouldn't have one
in the United States. I got something.
Yeah, Alaska, I wouldn't have one in Alaska. I would have one in New York, California, and here in Florida, and one of my home state. Just so when I go there to visit, I can stay there. Hey, and then leave.
All right.
It only used like 2 weeks out of the year.
Yeah, you know, like I don't know, man. It's tough, man. I'd go to the moon. I think you can pay like $1 million and like take you into space.
I won't be on the first. I wouldn't be on the first 5 flights though. I'd be on like the 6th flight. I want those first 5 to go, and be no hiccups, and then I'd jump on.
Would you be scared of stuff like? Would you be afraid of like flying? Like, would you be scared of like accidents happening, like you getting killed or something? Like, I'd be kind of like worried, like
once you get that,
like I'd be like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay on the ground. Like, I wouldn't really do risky shit.
No, because at that point, but see, this is gonna be different for me and you though, because I've got kids. So for me, it's like, well, if something happens to me, my kids and my wife, they're fine for whatever, you know. So I can still go out and ball out. I mean, when I say ball out, I'm not talking about going to spinning spree. I'm talking about going on like jumping out of a plane. I'm
See, you
full
can't do
wilderness,
risky shit with that type of money.
going forward in the Sahara.
Listen,
stuff like
listen. When you
go
broke,
extreme stuff.
When you broke, you can do risky shit, right? Because you're like, you know what? I live my life, I'm gonna enjoy it, right? But when you rich, you can't do shit like that. You gotta be like, man, I got all this money. I can't die with 500 billion in the bank. I ain't gonna be able to spend it. I'm have a real baller ass coffin though. I know that. That's another thing I set up. I make sure like, even though I'm only 30 something, I make sure like I'd have my like funeral arrangements already set up. Like I had like a castle. I want to be like, no, fuck a castle.
I have a tomb.
Put me in Egypt. Yeah, I'm in Egypt.
I have a tomb. Yeah.
I'm building my own pyramid, right? I'm next to the kings. Just like who they go dig my shit up 1,000 years from now. I was like, and then we don't know who this guy is, but
he was named after vodka, I think.
One of the greatest mysteries in human history. Who is that fourth pyramid?
It has a bottle on it, and it said vodka, but his name is Ciroc. Was there a Ciroc vodka back then?
The records don't show, but that was 10 gazillion years ago. But do you think? I mean, I think the drawing is Friday again. Do you think somebody's gonna win this time around, or is it gonna keep going up?
I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing. Hope I get my turn. If I don't, this is how it is. I think that's the one thing about the lotteries. You can never believe you're gonna win, because that.
Don't believe you're gonna win.
Because that just sets you up for failure. Enjoy the surprise, not the foolhardiness. If you want to be foolhardy and say, I'm going to win, that's all I'm going to think about, then that you're not gonna win. When you don't win, you're going to be severely depressed, and it's going to make you buy more lottery tickets, and it's going to cannonball you.
That is I believe 100% true. Like you said, I think if you notice, I mean, I don't track lottery runners and like that, but every now and then you'll see a story about one, and you read an article, and they're always kind of similar. They're always like they weren't intentionally trying to win. Though they have a lottery ticket, well, obviously
they just stopped by the store, got one,
got one for somebody else, or just like what the heck, and then like threw it away or somewhere, put it somewhere, and wasn't thinking about it, and then they win. But it's like 99.9, and don't I just made it pull that out of my ass, but most people I would assume go into that like thinking about winning, after buying a ticket. Like the conversation we just had, what would you do if you won, right? We all fantasize about like, I would.
Oh yeah, you have a little fantasy.
But I'm a big believer in, I mean, I guess you can say the universe or whatever. Like the what you put out there, the energy you put out there, and I think a lot of times when a lot of people are all thinking about the same thing, it's almost the same as the odds of winning, right? Because we're all trying. It's so much energy going to one thing that's spread among so many people. It's rare that the one that someone wanting to win will win when everybody wants to win the same thing. It's usually the person who's not really thinking about it, and it's just it's
an afterthought.
It almost comes to them. Yeah, it's a wanting, but not really a want. It's not something they were thinking about. And I think that's what happens on a lot of stuff. If a lot of people are fighting for wanting one thing, the odds of them getting it are very slim.
Very
but
slim.
then, like, I feel like if
someone's going to win it.
Yeah, someone's going to win it. But I think like if you're one person thinking about one specific thing that either no one else is thinking about or very few people are thinking about, you're more likely to get that, and I think that's why, like, how do I say this? I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought there where I was going, but I do think the more you think about it, the more you want it, and the less people are thinking about the exact same thing, you're more likely to get it, regardless of what it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because right now everyone wants the same thing. Everyone wants that $800 million.
Yeah, it's almost like it's almost like competition, but it's like thought competition, right? Can't see it, can't taste it, can't smell it, but we're still competing in a sense if more than one person wants them.
And it's not even feasible. And it's not even feasible to believe that you're even going to win it. So
right, and that's why I always think like the more detailed and direct you are with what you're thinking about, it's more likely to happen. It's one thing to think about something. It's one thing to think about something more detail, and then another person can think about that in twice as much detail. They're more likely to get it because they can. It's more clear. versus a cloudy and then pretty much blind. So,
but if you look at lottery winners, though, none of them really had a plan after they won. They're like, I won. Like let's say, okay, so there was a country guy, I think he was from Texas or maybe from Georgia, who won, and he was already like a business owner. He already owned like some grocery stores or something like that.
Right.
He won, and they asked him what he was going to do with it. He said, I don't know. I already have a business, so
right.
I don't know. And then he ended up, I guess, helping out his kids and doing some philanthropy stuff.
Like he doesn't need it.
Yeah. But then you had the girl who was, I think she was 22, and she won $100 and something million. At the time, it was one of the largest ones ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she was broke within 5 years.
Yeah.
So, I think you have to have that train of thought, like the guy who was a business owner. He said, okay, well, I know money goes out a lot faster than it comes in, so let me plan with this. Versus the one girl who's 22, barely out of high school,
doesn't know any better.
It's like, okay, well, I'm rich, so I'm going to be rich forever, and spend it like that. And then you're broke.
Giving it away, donating, overdoing things, balling out. Like, but that's like, I mean, it's hard to say because I've never been in that situation, and a majority of people.
Yeah, I know I'm going to ball out. Something. I mean, I know if I'm going to ball out something, but I'm not going to ball out to the tune of even $1 million. I'm balling out to the tune of getting some vehicles, going on some trips, and buying a house.
But the hard part is like, when, the taxes, if you spend $1 million, $2, $3 million a year, I mean, you can spend you can spend $1 million really quick if you really try. You can buy a nice house, you can buy a couple of really nice cars and something else stupid, and boom, that's $2-3 million. You do that 5 or 6 times, and now you down, you spend $20 million. Now you got to donate something to mom and dad. That's $30 million. Then you got to pay taxes again.
But you got to pay tax again. And now you got to pay tax on the properties that you just own, which those are $1 million properties. So those are high property taxes.
Exactly. And since you probably ain't working, you don't have any income coming in. So everything's just going out. So
because you think I just won, I don't need to have income come in. Versus me, I'm like, no, I just won. I'm going to do my plan is kind of like what Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban did.
Mark Cuban.
Yeah, he won the lottery. He wasn't rich. He won the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
And he, compounded on it, made good business decisions, and blew his money up. That's what I think. If you were someone, I guess, from our status,
right,
not necessarily poor, someone well off, whatever.
But they never had $1 million.
But never had $1 million. So
you're
thinking, okay, if I get it, I need to make these moves to make sure that I never have to get back to where I am now.
Right.
Because once you're an adult and you've been through things and you know how things kind of go, I think you have a better opportunity to keep that money versus just blowing it on whatever.
Yeah, like I feel like if you're young, you should just set up to where it's like where it pays you yearly or whatever it is. Like, but
all you gotta do is put it in the bank and live off the interest. Yep. And you can live good off that interest.
Yeah. Move to what do you call it? Silicon Valley. Move around other millionaires who know how to get the money. That's one of the biggest things is, you can't be a millionaire and then still hanging
out with, you gotta, I mean, you're gonna keep your friends close, but at the same time, you're gonna be like, I need to talk to these millionaires so I can learn how to continue to be a millionaire.
Exactly.
And they share information, and that's what they do. They share, just like we share information. If we go on a trip with someone who we think is close to our same class, we share information like podcasts or how to do editing or whatever, or something value that has a value to it. Right. They do the same thing. To them, $1 million investment, it's got a value to it, and so they're going to tell you, "Hey, I did this invest on this for $1 million, but inside of trading, which wink, wink, honk, they're going to be doing this deal in another year, so you might want to get in ahead of time." And that's how it goes.
That's how the rich stay rich. Well, people say the rich stay rich, but it's.
I mean, they do.
You always got to try to level up. Try to little. I mean, you don't have to take huge steps. You don't got to. I'm not saying try to hang out with every CEO that you know of. No, I'm just saying try to little by this baby steps. All right, this person. Okay, cool. Is this person? Is this somebody that I introduced to other people? Maybe not.
See, notice that I didn't say CEOs or anything when I was going through my names, because those people are the ones that you want to talk to when you're actually ready to make the business decisions that you've already got in your head. But I want to talk to the actors and movie stars, people who are just rich. I mean, they have a company, but their company is just acting or just producing. So you talk to those people that know how to play with their money because they know at some point in time their money is going to stop coming in.
Right.
So they know how to make it work.
The short career type people. I mean, I guess athletes I guess would kind of fall into that because I mean they don't.
Yeah, true. But a lot of athletes look for second careers after football.
Yeah. Usually like an analyst. I think that'd probably be the only big drawback of being a professional athlete is knowing that your mid to late 30s is when your playing career will probably end, unless you are a golfer or you do something where it doesn't really wear you down too much. But then you still got majority of your life still to live, and I think that's tough. That's trying to figure out. That's why I assume probably why some of them go broke and other reasons. But trying to figure out.
Because you're thinking.
Yeah, you've done what you were supposed to do, what you always wanted to do, and now you're 35, and it's just like, okay, now what next?
Next? I'm 35. I'm super rich. What I do, and then you have the people like, what's his name? Basketball player, Brandon Shoes. He had a Brandon Shoes out for a while. He was big in early 2000s, late 90s. What's his name? He used to fight. He used to fight the audience, the spectators.
Wait, he's a basketball player?
Basketball player. Yeah. What was his name?
Only person I can think of find the audience is Ron Artest.
No, not Ron Artest. But that same him and Ron Artest used to go at it against each other. Oh my God, what is his name? He was just in the news late last year, as a matter of fact.
Dennis Rodman?
No, not Rodman.
Ooh, your battery getting low. I can see it.
Yeah, I saw it too.
Give me one. You want to take a second?
Yeah, just give me 1 second.
I'll tell you what. I'll stop it here for you.
Yeah.
Here, I stop. I'll let you charge up real quick.
Click this off and on. It's not Ron Test. It's he's one of the shortest basketball players too.
You talking about Allen Iverson?
Yeah, that's it. Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson ain't never fought nobody in a.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Who?
I forgot. Is some bystander? Somebody was there watching the game.
Just
beat
up people to the crowd. Okay,
yeah, he got a 2-game suspension for that.
But no, you were saying his shoes were.
So
that's what he did. Oh shit, that's what he did afterwards.
Yeah, he had shoes and some other stuff, but then the money dried up, and now he's still. I guess he's still rich, but he's not uber rich anymore.
Allen Iverson?
Right? Like he's now at the process where he has to ask for things and get some of his other former team members. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, but not broke, but back to normal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not super rich anymore. So broke for us and broke for him is two different things. Like he could be broke having $1 million because he doesn't have any other job prospects.
Right.
So that $1 million is all he has.
Do you think that's why it's important for a lot of these athletes who make the jump to the pros, out of high school or out of college, to at least still get an education, knowing that they're not going to play forever? I think
one of the smartest things
at least have some type of. Go ahead.
I think one of the smartest things that football does in college is you've got to do 3 years. You got to make it to your junior year before you can go for the NFL.
Right.
Because then at least you're only a year away from having your degree if you decide to go ahead and go in. And sometimes if you're a red shirt, which is a lot of players, the majority, you're a red shirt. That means by the time your junior year hits, for you to go to the draft, you've already graduated. So I think the way they done it is very smart because in basketball it's just 2 years. You play 2 years of college basketball.
That's still kind of fairly new. Yeah. That's still kind of fairly new. That rule. Yeah. I mean, I don't I think the team should the professional teams that are taking kids who came out of high school or maybe only did a year or two in college. I think it should be mandatory for them as part of their contract as a professional athlete to have a tutor, finish the team still maybe hires private professors who throughout the season are still
off season.
Yeah, off season or throughout to where it's part of your contract. Hey, how about this? $1 million bonus by completing the semester. Exactly. Something incentive wise. And I know, some people are going to be against it, which, it's fair. They don't, they're adults. They can make
Someone always
decisions
hates
on their own.
something.
But like, as a team owner, I mean, that should be something to consider, especially if you have a team with, former players and veterans who have, committed suicide or like are flat broke or like,
live on the
substance
street,
issues,
and
whatever.
these are players that you swore.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but these are players that you swore up and down that you would take care of.
Right.
And now they need you to take care of them, and you're like, whatever, bye.
Yeah, it's but like I said, most of the times they say NFL, always professionally, it's a business, right? What you do once you're a part of a team. I mean, the code of conduct and all that stuff, so they're not responsible for your education, but it would be, helpful. Man, I can hear my roommate like yelling.
Did you know they don't like financial advisors? The teams, they will provide you a financial advisor, but a lot of the players don't take advantage of that. And I'm not going to say all of them, because I know some players who have taken advantage of they've actually gotten an outside financial advisor, but they set themselves up for after football. And that's, I think, is the one thing. You don't even have to have football to do it. I think one of the things that we don't do coming out of high school or college is we don't set ourselves up for the career after the career. Right. A lot of people, we go into it thinking this is going to be my career for the rest of my life. This is what I love to do. Mm-hmm. And coming out of high school, that's your or college, that's your mentality, that's your thinking.
And that's all you know at the end of the day too.
Yeah, but then in 10 years from that time, you're like, I'm burnt out from this job. I can't do this job anymore, blah, blah, blah. Now you're ready for another career, but you don't have the financial backing to make that swap easily. So now you're at the mercy of the company that you're looking to get hired on by, and also your current employer.
Right. So it's like, I mean, you can think of countless, players, and it's usually in the same, it's usually in the NBA, NFL, baseball. It's usually the big three, or I mean, I don't know about like the hockey too much. They seem like to be, handling it well, but it sucks. I mean, I get it. You make, if you're a great player, you make $50 million over the course of your career. I mean, that's if you're smart, that's a lot of. I mean, that should last.
I mean, that is a lot of money. At the end of the day, no matter what, that's a lot of money.
Right. And
when you think about over the course of most Americans' lifetimes, we are only going to make maybe $1 or $2 million cumulatively over our entire life. Whereas they have it and still find a way to lose it all.
Yeah, easy come, easy go, right? Money come fast. Like that goes into the, in any situation where, not saying they didn't work hard for it, but like, if it comes fast and it comes easy, it exits the same way, That's why people who had to build something for years and years and years and years, they're in it every day. They cherish it more. Like even, some business owners, right? Well, I mean, we always think of the big headliners, like I said, the tech guys, like the Mark Zuckerberg and all that crap. But it's the same concept. They're there every day. They're involved every day. They watching every dollar. That's another thing. People have $50 million, and they don't even keep an eye on it. Oh, it's fine. Next thing is 49, then it's 45, then it's 35, then it's 20.
They don't even look at it until it's down to 10. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they're like, wait, how am I down to this $10 million all of a sudden?
Or they don't even want to look at it.
Yeah. Because they know they're spending. They know they're spending.
Yeah.
But they don't want that.
That's a tough conversation. That is a tough thing personally for a lot of people, I'm sure, to it's a big hurdle to get up. Getting over that uncomfortability of looking at your finances every day or every other day, every week, whatever.
Every other. I don't think you should look at your finances every day, because
you don't think every day?
I think people have a tendency to spend more if you see it every single day.
Oh, if you see you having money coming in, definitely 100%.
So I think that's why, like me, I try to look at it maybe every other day. That way it's more. That way I know what's in there and I know what's coming out, but I know that as long as I'm not looking at it, it's still in there.
Or at least have the notifications of when you spend.
Oh yeah, you've got to have the notification. You've got to have
transaction things.
Yeah. Especially on credit cards. Credit cards is all my credit. The moment I spend anything on my credit card, my phone goes off, because I hate credit, and you got to stay on top of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I get it from Capital One and and from some other apps. But it's like it's cringy, but
Yeah,
it
it
it's
is
something that
cringy.
has to be done,
Yeah,
and I think, and that kind of trickles down into culture and and environment and stuff like that and
yeah,
influence. So, I know we kind of went off the rock there,
yeah.
went off the radar a little bit, talk about Allen Iverson next,
Yeah,
but yeah, man, Mega Millions is this Friday.
yeah,
I hope I
yeah.
win. I don't even think I played, but I hope I win.
I played. I mean, I had a ticket for last night. I'm gonna buy another ticket for this one. And this is the only time I buy tickets like this is when it's an absurd amount of money.
Is
You
that
know,
because are the odds like better
no, the
with
odds are actually much worse.
or
But
just more people?
it's yeah, because so many more people are playing, the odds are much worse. But it's
Okay,
still
but it's also
it's
more likely for somebody to win, right?
yeah,
Now you
it's more
have
it's more likely for it because sometimes more than one person wins. So if you win
yeah.
$10 million, you've got to now share it between 5 people. It means you're only gonna walk away with 2.5. Then after taxes, you're gonna walk away with $1 million. But you
I'm
playing
good.
it, oh, I am too. But you playing for these big ones,
Yeah.
it's a much. If 10 people win, you're still walking away with
Yeah. And what the sad part is though, it's
millions.
like even 100,000, like majority of people are playing have never even, like this is the type of one that most likely they will probably never ever see in their entire lives.
Yep.
And then it's like, it's funny how like people could get picky about what if scenarios. Like, I
They get
remember,
mad about him too.
yeah, like, oh no, I'm not playing. If it's under 50 million, I'm not playing. Like, bro, like you don't even have $500 to your name, and you
Yeah.
talk about if it's under 50 million, you're not playing. You gonna play if it's $20.
Yeah,
So
and see, and those are the ones who are in it to always play it. And see, I'm just not a gambling person. I'll buy an occasional one.
mhm.
Next month I won't buy any. Month out of that, I won't buy any. But if it jumps back up to $300 million again, oh, I'll buy one.
You ever think about? You ever think about? I wonder if people think about, like, because there's people who are addicted to buying lottery tickets.
Yes,
Like,
yeah,
you ever wonder
I've
how much
known some.
money have they spent like over their lifetime of buying lottery tickets and never won?
I can't attest to over a lifetime, but I can tell
Mhm.
you of one person who I know. I won't mention their name, but one person I know who spent their entire paycheck on scratch offs and lottery tickets. Their entire monthly paycheck on scratch offs and lottery tickets.
What are they
And
chasing? The thrill? Like,
I don't know,
I'm sure they
but
know the odds.
I mean we're talking about $1,800, all on lottery tickets and scratch offs. Granted, the person did win some of the scratch offs,
But still,
but
they lost way more over time.
way more. Yeah.
It's like if I was like, hey Sean, I will give you, like, I got a coin, one side's heads, one side's tails, right?
Hmm.
And if I'll give you, I don't know, you charge $1 for every flip. I charge you $5 for every flip. But if the coin lands standing up, I'll give you $1 million. Like, even though that sounds great, you're gonna spend more money
Yep. Trying to get that million,
try to get that thing to stand up than
then taking the money and walking away that you already won.
exactly. And that's how I kind of think about the lottery. It's like something very, 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 very rare would have to happen to one person out of 200. How many people in America?
300 something,
350
million.
million people. I mean, you got a better chance of figuring out how to make that money versus you
Yeah.
just getting
Yeah.
not six numbers correct,
Yeah.
randomly drawn from a freaking, a machine that shoots out. Like,
And the numbers are between 0 and 99. So that's a lot of numbers.
yeah, it's like
That's a lot of combinations.
it for you to win, like I said, it has to be like destiny.
Yeah.
Like someone
It was
just
meant for you to
sacrificed.
win.
Yeah, like someone literally sacrificed their soul to
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I think about. Oh man.
Pretty much.
But yeah, man, Sean, that's all I really had. I don't know.
That's all you really had?
That's all I really had.
Well,
I had a few other things, but nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy. Well, we've talked about Kamala Harris. We talked about Joe Biden. We have talked about the lottery. Let's see. We talked about Allen Iverson, how he keeps getting into our podcast. I have no idea, but he does.
Yeah, he comes. I think we have the same birthday. I think me and Alan.
I think you do.
Look,
I think you said that before.
Fuck, am I gonna be broke?
But yeah. So with all of that,
ready for what
now that it's time for what Florida. No, I mean you pretty much touched on the same thing I had. I mean, outside of Derek Carr, now talk. I don't know what Derek Carr decided to do this on today, but this is one little blip from Derek Carr. He said, let me find it again.
He's still the coach of. I said the quarterback of the Vegas team, right? The Raiders, Vegas Raiders.
Raiders.
Are they? Yep. They're the Vegas Raiders now, right?
Yeah, Vegas Raiders. He said boycotting isn't going to change the next 4 years, whether we are all happy or not. And then he did a picture. He took the picture in a vest, in a military vest, military IBA looking vest. He says it's his workout vest, which I'm sure it probably is, but it's a vest that looks like a vest I wore in the Army or the military.
What is he doing?
Was this IBA?
Was Twitter or something?
Is Instagram?
Like
Twitter and Instagram. It's on both.
When people post stuff like this, I mean, like you gotta. Is anybody?
You gotta read it.
Listen, I have a football team full of 55 dudes who, that I'm supposed to be their leader, and then I post something like this, like, and social media, like you get plenty chances to like cancel what you know.
Oh yes, yeah. You sure you want to post this? Are you sure you want to post this?
Yeah, like on Instagram, it's
positive.
Like you pick a picture, then you choose if you want to do a filter, then you can write a description. Like all those stages were chances. To, maybe I should.
maybe I shouldn't write it exactly this way, or I don't.
Right. I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to post how you feel. I mean, that's how you feel. Go ahead.
That's how you
feel. But be prepared for the backlash, because it's gonna happen.
Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from responsibility.
Exactly. That's very true. And if you're in a position where you are, like I said, you're a leader of some kind, or you're responsible for other people, like you got to consider them too.
Yeah.
It's
now this is like what happened to Drew Brees.
Yeah, have a talk with him beforehand.
Like what happened to Drew Brees. He came out for something that he said years ago, came out again. Mm-hmm. The team as a whole went to him like, "Look, you're wrong," and he came out and said, I was wrong. It took him a little while, and I apologize because he realizes even if he himself doesn't believe he was wrong, it was wrong enough for enough members of his team to make him realize that it was the wrong time to say what he said.
Exactly, it's a time and a place. Yeah, it's what you can say the same thing, but if it depends on the context, like it can. Either you be praised for it or get you killed.
Exactly.
You gotta be careful what you say, man. That's why, humans are given the ability to think before it actually comes out of your mouth. If you were a dog and you couldn't help that shit, and
no matter what, it's coming.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, this thing I can't help it. But like, as a human, you got a couple seconds there to be like, nah.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can still feel that way. You can still feel that way. You can,
tell it to your close friends.
Exactly.
Tell it to people in your orbit. Just don't put it on social media, because you put it on social media, you got to deal with the consequences.
Exactly. But when you're the quarterback of a team in Louisiana, the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm sure they was dropping balls on purpose. Like, fuck this.
That was like, oh no, you going to retire now.
I know they got James Winston playing out. Like, what happened in the locker room? Like, yeah, they got to get rid of Drew Brees.
That was their only touchdown, or one of only 2 other touchdowns.
Oh yeah, last week. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he was happy. He was like, "Yeah, fuck you, damn it."
Yeah, he's like, "I just got another season. I got another season.
Should have never got rid of me." Oh man! All right, I'm ready.
All right. Let's do what the Florida. All right, and to our people who did not catch last week's episode, go catch it. But just let you know, we will no longer review the rules of what Florida, because I reviewed them over 1,000 times probably by now. The rules are, you have to pick where it happened at in Florida, north, south, or middle. Those are the rules, and play along.
Boop, boop.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Ready.
First story. Where'd it go? Okay, here it is. Florida woman who claimed she owns Google assaults homeowner with bottle of beans.
Bottle of beans? Where do you even get that from?
I don't even know. A bottle of beans? I have no idea. I have no idea.
With like jelly beans?
Hey,
it was jelly beans.
I don't know. A woman who went berserk and claimed to own Google after a woman ordered her to leave her property last year is back behind bars. The county sheriff's office were called to a home in 61 block of 140th Street on Thursday in reference to a trespassing issue. When they arrived, they spotted 42-year-old Laura Beth Seymour walking across the backyard of the residence. She told the deputies she had been charging her cell phone in an outlet on the back porch of the home, a sheriff's office report states. Okay. Deputies determined that Seymour had been issued a trespass warning from the property earlier in the day and placed her under arrest. A deputy removed her hat while placing her in the backseat of a patrol vehicle and noticed a piece of aluminum foil inside the inner band that contained a crystal-like substance that field tested positive for guess what? Methamphetamine. Close enough. Close enough.
She's messing up.
Seymour said she found the methamphetamine inside the residence and later claimed a friend gave it to her.
Yeah, my friend gave it. It said it was some type of sugar.
A deputy attempted to read Seymour her rights and explain them multiple times, but she claimed she didn't understand them. She was then transported to the county jail. Right. Follow up to the story. Seymour was also arrested in April 2020 after a nasty altercation with a woman who told her to leave her property. A sheriff's deputy reported that Seymour was grabbing items at the property and throwing them out of a gate onto a roadway. The deputy reported that she appeared to be under the influence of an unknown substance. Guess what that was?
Sugar again.
Here is the victim said Seymour entered the back of her property and woke her up. She said she got into a verbal altercation with Seymour and she became irate when she told her to leave. The victim said Seymour also threw a bottle of beans at her. During that call, a deputy read Seymour her rights, but she said she didn't understand them. After claiming ownership of Google and several businesses, she told the deputy she had used methamphetamine. She also said that she had a broken window inside the victim's residence.
Damn. Drugs will mess you up because, like, imagine the cop is just like, yeah, we're taking you to jail. And then she says, I own Google. Like, what? What did you say? I think I heard you say.
Yeah, you heard me.
County, but luckily for you, I have no idea where Marion
County. Yeah, I know you did. That's why
I heard of Marion County. I just don't know where it's at.
Yeah, I know you didn't. It slipped out. But I was like, he doesn't know where it's at.
That's all right. I don't know where it's at. I only know where Hills. Honestly, I just learned where Pinellas County was like a couple months ago.
All right, second
different county.
Second story. Due to the fact that we have had, of course, some Florida residents involved in the Capitol stuff, I of course had to find a Fourth of Florida for the Capitol. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
I believe I've been cleared. Florida man and alleged Capitol Hill insurrectionist who bragged about acing FBI interview is charged with multiple federal crimes. Oh, isn't that sad?
Man, you mean tell me I get punished for this?
You got punished. Man. Yeah.
Oh, I thought they only sent black people to jail. What? This can't be right.
A Florida man who used Instagram and Facebook to post about his participation in the pro-Trump siege of the U.S. Capitol complex last week was charged with 4 federal crimes on Friday. This is an article of Law and Crime, Dan Abrams' production. Notably, one of those posts contained his stated belief that he had recently aced an interview with federal agents. Just finished speaking to an FBI agent, Samuel Camargo wrote on Facebook on January 8th, I believe I've been cleared. To all right. This is another post of his. To all my friends, family, and people of the United States of America, I apologize for my action today at the Capitol in DC.
Mm-mm.
I was involved in the
Shit ain't
events
real.
that transpired earlier today. I will be getting off all social media for the foreseeable future, and will cooperate with all investigations that may arise from my involvement. I am sorry to all the people I've disappointed, as this is not who I am, nor what I stand for.
Oh, he is trouble. He is some trouble. Damn.
Both posts, the hopeful one and the one in which he admits his attendance at the insurrection that left 5 people dead, were cited in a criminal complaint. If I use it, basically, in a criminal complaint and statement of facts by FBI Special Agent Michael Attard.
You might have Googled like sincere apology, like, and then like it's like blank spots. You can just enter in what you did, or whoever you're talking to. Like, I think that's like an apology. Like when you realize that like federal agents do exist and the CIA does exist and they will come and get.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, but you're real.
That's an apology when you watch too much movies. Like when you're like, oh shit. So I thought everybody just left at the end. Like, no, you do real time.
You're real and you're for black people? What?
Yeah, like what?
Oh, and you arrest more than just black people? What? Wait.
So it wasn't
so continue on. Those court papers also identify Camargo's personal Facebook account by its URL. The defendant's Facebook account is still active. Law and Crime obtained screenshots of the post in question, and both status updates are still live as of this writing. According to the FBI, Camargo also bragged about his involvement via Instagram. This is from the statement of facts from the FBI. On January 6, 2021, Witness 1, a former classmate and social media friend of Samuel Camargo, provided a tip to the FBI that Camargo posted pictures and content on Camargo's Instagram account with the user ID Skillis, Skillis. I'm going with Skillis, but I'm probably wrong. Okay. as well as Camargo's Facebook account, facebook.com SamCamargo7, showing Camargo's participation at different parts of the rally and Capitol riot on January 6, 2021. Witness 1 provided the following screen grab from social media, showing a metal piece of an unknown structure from the U.S. Capitol building or grounds, with the admission that he got some memorabilia
for free.
Did it myself. Your affiant also reviewed the same photograph publicly stated on the Skillis account that same date. So he's got it posted on his account too.
Like, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, you think like I got a lot of, I don't have, okay, like for instance on Facebook, I got quite a bit of friends. I mean, I've had Facebook forever, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if I did something stupid and one of them snitched on me. Like, of course, like,
yeah. Well, I'm not gonna ask you to break the law for me to break the law. Yeah. I broke the law. That's not on you. That's on me.
Yeah, it's just, man, I don't.
I'm finish the story. I'm finish the story. They were going to that. The FBI goes on to allege that a full video from Camargo's Instagram story shows the alleged insurrectionists at the bottom level of the West Side steps to the U.S. Capitol, amidst a large crowd of Donald Trump supporters who can be seen waving multiple banners. The FBI further alleges that the Instagram video shows Camargo at one of the doorways to the U.S. Capitol building, where he is using his mobile phone to videotape his struggle with the U.S. Capitol Police over opening a door to the U.S. Capitol building. Camargo is charged with the following crimes: 1 count civil disorder, 1 count entering and remaining in a restricted building, 1 count disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building, and 4 counts and 1 count of physical violence in a Capitol building. If convicted as charged, he faces more than 25 years in prison. Damn. Now, you don't have to say where it happened. You have to say where he came back to here in Florida.
Okay.
Because obviously you know where it happened.
Okay.
All right. And now I told you I'm doing 4 stories this time. So okay. This is the third one. Caught on camera, woman with breast exposed attacks man inside elevator.
Okay.
Police detectives are working to find out more information about the circumstances surrounding an attack inside an elevator that involved a shirtless man and a woman who had her breast exposed. The incident was captured on surveillance cameras around 2:30 p.m. last Thursday inside of a building on Northwest 10th Avenue. The video shows the woman striking the man with an unknown object several times. He put his fist up at one point as she struck him once more. She then put her foot in front of the elevator door to prevent it from closing as the two continued to argue about something. The man did not report the incident to police, but officers said they want to speak with him to find out what led up to the altercation. Authorities said, yeah, I know, right? That's what baby mama. To put up with that much, that's not a girlfriend. He's locked into her.
He was saying afterwards. That's his baby mom. He's like, all right,
he's locked into it. He can't get away. Authorities said it's unclear at this time whether the attack was provoked. Any information with it, please call the police department. That's not what we're here for.
Calling him.
Even he didn't. So, all right, last story. This one might be kind of easy.
Okay.
But I couldn't. But it was just so good I had to say it. Florida man steals tiki hut to continue drunken escapade.
That's Florida man as it gets.
Drunk man steals floating tiki hut to continue drinking. A reportedly stolen floating tiki hut was found near a channel, according to the U.S. Coast Guard. Once aboard, law enforcement found a person who showed signs of intoxication. Florida Fish and Wildlife officers took the person into custody. We like to remind mariners not to drink and boat, the U.S. Coast Guard said. That's the whole article. All article.
Right. So somebody drowned. All right. So first story. The Google lady, right?
The one who owns Google.
Okay. You said Marion County. I remember that. So I'm going to say, just by default, the fact that I even know Marion County is a county must mean I heard it on the news, but heard it on the news, it's probably local news, so it has to be at least in the Central Florida area, because we don't ever talk about South County. So I'm gonna say Central
South County
for the first one. All right, which is I know is right.
Yeah, that's right. It's actually right.
Which one was the second story?
Second story was the man who went up the second story was the guy who said he beat the FBI interview.
Oh, FBI, what the hell? All right, I'm gonna say North. North. That sounds crazy, but not too crazy. I think it's less crazy the more North. I'm gonna say North on that one.
See, I would have went with that one too, but it's actually South. He's from Broward County. He's from Broward County. Yeah. All right. I know, right?
All right. So third story.
Yeah. The woman who attacked the guy with her boobs out.
The baby mama situation. Baby mama drama. I'm gonna say that was Central. I'm gonna say Central again.
That I'm surprised you went with Central, especially with boobs being out. It was in Miami. South. It was in Miami.
That's what I meant to say.
Nah.
All right. Shit. All right. Well, then the last guy still in Tiki Hut. So I'm definitely saying Miami because he probably was going back to Cuba or something. I don't know. Is it South?
Are you saying it is South? It wasn't in Miami. Wasn't in Miami. It was in Key West, but it is South. So I would give it to you.
Well, actually, now it makes even more sense. Because I've been in Key West. They don't got no rules though. They don't got no rule. All right, so 2 for 4. That's 50%. That's failed.
2 for 4. Yeah, not always gonna do a fourth one, but this was
an possibility.
This was an eventful weekend. I wanted to get some of these things out. People in Florida were going crazy.
Yeah, they going crazy.
Welcome back to What the Florida.
And they're about to go even crazier. 2 weeks counting down. Well, not 2 weeks, 3 weeks to the Super Bowl. This Sunday, the Bucks, the hometown team, is playing for a chance to be the first team in the history of the NFL to be in the Super Bowl and also host the Super Bowl in the same city. We got the GOAT, Tom Brady, TB12, whatever you want to call him.
Calling him a GOAT is only his point of view. Just say his point of view.
All right, well, from my point of view, he's the GOAT. Everyone else is grass. So, with that being said.
All right. I'll tell Joe Montana you say he's grass. I'll tell Joe Montana you say he's grass.
Listen, he had Jerry Rice. We got we don't got Jerry Rice. That's all I got.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, I hope everyone does catch this weekend's game. If you don't watch the game, get out and enjoy the world because, hey, we only have one. So this has been the weekly review at Sean's Rock. I am Sean Aquino Torres.
And it's your boy, Rock the Mic.
Thank you for listening.
Peace out. Deuces.